Hey, so on this video is 100 mintage too low for gold coins. I'm going to be going over that question and put it out there for you guys to answer and your thoughts and opinions on whether you think 100 mintage on a gold coin is too low. Now this comes about as there's been it's a wave of new 100 mintage on gold coins, and even off the last video I done, a lot of the coins are aiming for that magic ratio now, that magic number of 100. So I'm going to go over the first coins that I got involved with that brought out this number, why I got involved with them, my thoughts on to whether I think 100 is too low a number for a gold coin, either to appreciate or to appeal to the masses, and just my thoughts and opinions on that. But I'd love to hear from everybody watching this. What do you think? Do you think it's too low? Do you think it's not low enough? Do you see a negative to it? And what are your positives that you see to it? So for me, I would say I first got into 100 mintage coins, where I first saw and was a part of it from these Rwandan coins. So it was on this one here, the Rooster, that I first got involved with. And what drew me to this specifically, my train of thought at the time when I first saw it, for anybody that wanted to get those notes, was I knew that this was coming from a mint or producers that had a hit on their hands. And it was also a breath of fresh air when I saw a funky new radical design, a lunar one. You know, having my gripes with Perth Mint, whatever that may be, you know, it's great as the quality is. And, you know, some of them releasing mintages and just all out good service from them. I didn't like how a lot of their images were getting saturated. And there was just so many different variants. When you have the gold, and then you have the coloured, and then you have the gilded, and then you have the BU, and then you have the proof, and then you have the half ounce to the kilo to the 10 kilo. Do you understand where I'm coming from? As good as it was when I first got in, late 2014, early 2015, you know, there was opportunities to cash out on quite a few of the designs, whereas later on in the game it just became redundant. It wasn't really doing anything for a cowboy collector slash flipper like myself. And this is where I've seen every mint and their mother jumped on board a lunar themed coin series because it's a hit, and I was paying attention to a lot out there. Do I think there's better designs? I have seen some stunning designs. I won't get into them because I personally haven't seen them do anything well on the secondary market. So from seeing these guys bring out their coin, seeing that they had the hit series with the African Wildlife series, I'll get into that in a moment, I bit the bait, and you know, I jumped on board. And for me, 100 on the coin mintage, it was the first time that I had been involved on a coin with that type of mintage. I had heard and seen about them before, but for me, I think I mentioned at the time, it was perfect because it was, and this is where I feel you have the perfect model, it was placed in a beautiful pyramid style. So you had the BUs carrying the design with an unlimited mintage. We did go on to get plastic gate with a lot of these guys BU coins. We then had the silver proof, which I think also was the sweet spot on 1000 mintage, coming from the same guys in the Rwandan and Wildlife series, and then we had the nautical series. And then you had the gold, which was a new, and that was 100. And they took a big gamble because, to me, from what I was seeing at the time, of course, I wouldn't surprise me there was other coins, but not of this stature doing that type of mintage. It'd be fantastic to hear in the comments that they were. It was them taking a gamble because I understand it costs a bit to get the designs out and even mint them up to such a small number. So if they don't take off, you know, it could be more of a loss on the dealers slash mints. And got a bit of a frosty one in the throat. So as I mentioned when I first picked these up, they stuck around for a little while, but then it dawned on me, look, if it's a hit, it could be a fantastic hit. And this is pre-vampirism, so from the dealers mainly, because it's where we saw it a lot on this coin series. And at the time, they was going for around, you could pick them up for around 16,000 euros. So that was around £1,400 at the time. So that's the going rate for a lot of these coins. Nothing changes when you've got the certain mintage, and I'll try and tap into that in a moment. So you was picking this coin for around $1,850, around £1,400, 14 to £1,500 depending on the dealer. And I could see there was definitely potential, worst case, to make a small flip for a short period of time. And that's reselling at the price a lot of the dealers push these coins out for now. So I jumped involved knowing that it would be a nice design. Everybody on their price range or their pocket size could get involved if you did love the design. If you wanted to get risky and frisky, you could pick up the silver proof or take it to the next level and get the gold. So I felt that on the right design from the right mint, you know, from the right producers, having a mintage as low as 100 was good enough. Now, I do think 100's low, but not in today's market. Once upon a time, when we had, I would say, damn near everybody in crypto, in coins, precious metals coins, 100 would have gone within a blink of an eye. You know, it would have been counterproductive. But now it's as stagnant as it is. And I mean, you only need to look at any gold coin. 100 is the model now. And to see some left on the shelves, you could even say 200. You have to remember, worldwide, for them to still be available, that coin technically hasn't done well. And so at the time, we were still in between. You know, we didn't have the crypto craze where people were getting absolutely crazy and just checking out. You know, I've seen people I was communicating with once upon a time in, you know, YouTube land via coins sell their entire stack and go into crypto. And so we were still here where people were buying. So it was still frisky. Dealers had put out a certain price. And mints have always been giving it to the dealers for these prices. So I jumped in, got involved, and, you know, may have played a part in creating some hype for these. But I'm fully backing them, and we know how the story goes. Now, what's happened now is that I can also give some cons as to what I've seen, and that is 100's the new norm. You know, whether you have a not successful mint or a very successful mint, you know, we still haven't seen the big boys, the main, you know, the US mint from a government, and then you have the one of the best collector coin mints, Perth Mint, or even the Royal Mint, do something on this level where you've got the one coin, one series coming out, and then it's a 100 mintage. On a lot of the private mints, it's the new norm. So you're going to get 100. A lot of Scottsdale started it. I know there's just a few names off the top of my head. I know I'll constantly mention them. And then you have a lot of the, you know, Republic of Congo. And then you have your Tuvalis, you have your Pubjoys, or whoever, and the likes of now have the 100 model. Has that diluted the mintage 100 to a degree? Yes. Because once upon a time, you know, 50 to 25k was tongues wagging. It was, oh my goodness, even 100k. That's now come down. So we're left in a point where I see now, whereas this is the new norm. So that isn't such a selling point no more. Whereas once upon a time, it could have damn near classified as a sellout instantly. Every coin's 100 gold, unless they really get fruity and want to really try their luck. If they know what's good for them, they'll bring it out on that mintage. 1,000 on the silver and 100 on the gold. So I think that's saturated the market. Yes, not everybody's jumped on board. They're more than happy to play their chances or their cards, risking however many and just playing it at eye or earshot. But I think what it's done is you may have a coin come out that who knows, but then they also believe to throw 100 into the mintage on the gold is going to be a success hit. Of course, they're going to be looking at coins like this that done and created so much of a worldwide frenzy. But I've seen a lot of coins not do so well. I've seen a lot of private mints standard, their gold is going to be 100. If you're lucky, 150, and with some other added gimmick attached to it. But I think on certain coins, it can really take off. But even within certain mints, when we look at the 100 coin number there, when we had this same mint, we'll just say call them under the Maya mint, and they was, as I mentioned, doing the wildlife series, and they've been doing, I think 2008, so they're well 10 plus years into it. And they bring out the Rwandan coins that are a massive hit, then they bring out the lunar coins that are a massive hit, and then say, hey, look, we've already got a hit, let's introduce the 100 mintage to this lineup. And that was the giraffe. So the giraffe was the first coin where they introduced the 100 model to the gold, as I hold it on the outside. Another interesting fact with the majority of their gold coins are they're not actually proof, so they're all BU. I jumped involved in this because, one, it was from these guys producing it. I am involved in the wildlife series, but I thought it would be a massive hit. But here's a prime example of somebody that created a lot of the hype, jumped on board with it thinking let's add 100 to our current lineup. And personally, I don't think this coin took off well. It wasn't received well. I've seen them on the secondary market. A lot of dealers still have them but refuse to reduce the price on them because it is what it is. I'll get into where we may see a little saving grace at some point, but I personally didn't see the frenzy I saw on the Nautical or the Luna when it came to this piece here. And this is from the exact same guys. All they done was bring out their usual 1000 vintage. I know they have the F15s also. So they brought out their Proof 1000, they brought out their BUs Unlimited, and then on their gold, they introduced it. But it was more than halfway into their series. That's the day was to end 10 years from now. And it was a mediocre. So it does go wrong, and these guys are proof because it's from the guys that have a fantastic 100 mintage. Will I continue picking these up? The first one, this one here, didn't do as good as I would have liked it to, so this would be the only one. I reckon for the price I got this for, I would be able to sell for somewhat of a profit. But I think holding on to it for the long term, as this series is still very hot, could reap some benefits at a later date. So we've had coins in the past that were lower than 100. Now I saw those having the reverse effect. Now a mint that's been infamous for that, and I think they still to date haven't even been able to lock in how their pricing or minting their coins was the guys that do the Somalian elephant coins. Now I understand these guys have brought out gold coins with a mintage of like 10. Now I thought that was always counterproductive because you was better off doing something like when the Perth Mint make these big massive kilo coins with diamonds in them. You was better making them off uber exclusive, you know, because if they was somewhat obtainable within the 2000 plus range, you're going to leave it as whereas it comes out so fast and goes so fast that no one's going to actually know about them. It's going to create no buzz, no hype. Someone was recently in the comments mentioning quite a few gold coins I would have thought wouldn't have done too well because they were so, you know, low key or under the radar, yet they seem to have been able to flip them for quite a profit. So there's always going to be a market for them, but to a much smaller audience. For myself, I'd want a larger audience, and this is why I feel the 100 is the sweet spot. With the guys that do the Somalian elephant coins, I think they do a lot of, you know, World Money Fair exclusive on a mintage of 50 is silver. So a lot of their coins are limited run. Somewhat of what I've been recently accusing the South African Mint of being real cowboys on. This is the second nautical ship here. So we get the first and the second. So I think going lower is counterproductive. I personally feel you could go much lower or much higher on the right coin series, and even from the right mint. I think someone like the US Mint could create a massive hit, but I doubt they would do it in one size and one variant. It would be something like the Queen's Beast, where you can get in many different variants. And on the 1 ounce, just going straight to the Royal Mint, if they was to bring the 1 ounces out on a mintage of 100, it would still be a 50-50 because you could still get that same design in a BU. So it'd be interesting to see if it was just that one-off, that one design at that one, you know, that magic number there. Perfect time of releasing this. I've recently released, I believe it was a Barbie coin I was talking with somebody about today, and it's got the diamond in, and it comes in the case like the handbag, and that's on a mintage of 60, a 2 ounce pink gold coin. So this is where we are with the mints now. They needed something to breathe some fresh air into the collector coin, you know, arena, and this is where we are on the 100 coin mintages. Now I spoke with people that thought it was too low. I don't think it is. I think if you put it on the right coin series, it will do fantastic. You know, if it's going to be abused as it has, then we're going to get what we got. The cons, and the massive cons I can see to it, is it's opened up the gates and the doors to the price gouging, you know, the lube out the window, especially from dealers and even the mints. As I mentioned, the dealers, I believe, will always get these coins regardless of the mintage around the 1850 price range. That's what they should be selling them for, and that's around 1,400 or 1,500 pounds sterling. So dealers straight off the bat now are playing on this 100 mintage and hiking that straight up to around 2,000 pounds sterling, 2,600, 2,500. Of course, they need to be able to gauge whether it's hot or not. So they are paying more than enough attention to these types of videos, believe it or not. But it's definitely opened the floodgates to a lot of that price gouging. I think I've personally gained handsomely off of these coins straight off the mark, and it was fantastic for a coin to do so well. I've done videos where I was able to flip some to dealers and make a handsome, you know, €500 profit per coin, and I've sold them just as handsomely to private individuals. I think we're either gonna see a fantastic, you know, ending to this, or where we're driving real slow towards a massive car crash, because these haven't even come into their own. Once again, basing the Rwandas as the first, they've only been out for like a year and a half at the time of releasing this video on 100 mintage. It's a tiny mintage, so we still need to see how we'll be looking in 5 or 10 years, I reckon, when you've got a complete set of gold, for instance. If you take these on a mintage of 100, how will it look? What will the prices be? Will the mintage numbers, you know, hinder or help it in the end? I think on the right series, once again, it will help it in the long run, but we have to wait and see how well that goes. These 100 mintage coins haven't matured. I done a video some time ago on the Perth Mint 5000 mintage on their BU coins. Now, give it, these coins are not high premium, so they're technically somewhat low premium. You get them a couple of percentage over spot than your average Gold Eagle or Gold Britannia, but these are on a much larger mintage of 5,000. I do think that's too high in today's current market. We do have the talk that you're left saying when you get coins like this, and the phrase goes, well, I'll hold on to it and wait and see how the market turns up at a later date. We may get another rush into metals and everyone's going to backtrack. I'm starting to see that less and less likely. No one's going to come in, or, you know, the masses won't come in and want to backdate to Luna 2. They'll take where Luna 3 is, especially if you're price hiking. You need a massive jump in spot. But that's just a scenario I look at. But then, you know, you can look at the same situation and say to yourself, 5,000 on the BU, I don't think you're ever going to get a sellout. Whereas 100 you will, but you're going to have the situations where a lot of the dealer vampire in when you're getting the price gouging. So it's two sides of one ugly coin. You know, although we all hate it and don't like it, I think it's getting harder and harder for dealers to justify it, because with so many 100 mintage gold coins out there now, they can't really say, you know, well, it's 100. And we could be looking at that as a mint would say to a dealer, this coin's on 100 mintage. We're going to give it you this price. And then they basically use that as a lie or as an excuse as to why they're hiking the prices up so much, because you now have so many coins out on 100 mintage that it's becoming the norm. So, you know, it's the dealer literally hiking up the prices. But this is one thing that they've ultimately loved with these coins. But then you look at it and think they can't take absolute advantage, and this is why they go so hard when they can. And that's why we have this price gouging that a lot of us dislike. But I ultimately see that doing a lot more harm, because then you'll have a lot more low mintage coins, be it silver or gold, sitting on the shelves. And so they're going to ultimately end up hurting themselves. It would cost them nothing to give these at original prices that I was able to pick up some of the first coins where I had over 10 of these, the Roosters, when they first came out. So it's not going to kill the dealer to do that, but they want to play, you know, dealer, customer and secondary buyer. It's going to hurt them in the long run 100%, where you'll have more people just think, I'll go wait, you know, because if I'm looking at this coin, and then if it would have taken you, I don't know, anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks or 8 weeks to flip the coin at the price the dealer's now selling it to you, you may as well just forget about it and just jump on something else and just wait for the dealer to either reduce the price or have those with deep pockets purchase them and see what happens from there. They technically become rich collector coins in essence is what they originally are, and it kicks out the cowboy collectors and anybody that would have wanted to buy them at their true market value. So ultimately, how I see 100 mintage on gold coins, I think is new, it's fresh. I think it's not too high on the right coin series, but I don't think it's going to work against the coin, whereas it's too low. You take someone like the Royal Mint and even Perth Mint, but Royal Mint are infamous for this. If you take the 1/4 ounce gold Queen's Beast, for instance, that came out on a mintage of 2,500. We've just had the year at time of releasing this video, and that's on a mintage of 1,000. So straight away you ask yourself, that's 1,500 collectors who may have locked in on the extra lions that now are not getting the L. Now I know by the time they got to the Dragon, they was on 1,500. So they've been chopping it down either 500 at a time or 1,000 at a time. So you look at that and think, how does that model come into play? You wouldn't think the mint themselves would take such a drastic move. So either some of these coins ain't being sold and they're having to take this course of action. This is the only way I personally read it when I look at these types of actions. Or, you know, they just don't care for the rest of the collectors and they like to create this frenzy market. But I'm going to wrap this one up, guys, because it's gone on for long enough. But once again, it'd be fantastic to hear your thoughts and opinions. Is 100 too low on these gold coins nowadays? What do you think it should be at? And what do you think is too high or too low? So hate or love it, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll catch you guys on the rebound.